Once upon a while ago, there was a fisherman's puppet.
Hey guys, what is going on? Chris here with Shughead Gaming, bringing you my review for A Fisherman's Tale, developed by Interspace VR and releasing on PCVR and PSVR. As always, this review will be on the PSVR version and reviewed on a PS4 Pro. A Fisherman's Tale releases this January 22nd, 2019 for an estimated price of $15. Of course, that depends on your region. Playing as Bob, a tiny fisherman puppet, you live alone in your tidy cabin, oblivious to the world outside. When your radio broadcasts a storm alert, you have to get to the top of the lighthouse and turn on the light. But as you try to leave your cabin, you realize what's waiting outside is not at all what you expected. Published by Vertigo Games, the company that brought us Arizona Sunshine, A Fisherman's Tale looks to be something special for VR headsets. So let's find out. As always, guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button, and if you'd like to see more PSVR content from me, please consider subscribing, and for video updates, hit that bell icon. And remember, if you want more PSVR news and info, check Shughead Gaming out on Twitter and Facebook. Starting off this review, let's take a look at graphics. The first thing that struck me when playing A Fisherman's Tale was how much obvious love and care had gone into the design and implementation of this game. Not unlike when playing Moss, the experience of playing through A Fisherman's Tale creates that magical feeling of being inside a children's storybook. With warm colors and a unique animated art style, A Fisherman's Tale comes alive and is simply a pleasure to exist inside. With very little aliasing, graphics here are sharp and the world explodes with tiny details. And once you jump into A Fisherman's Tale, you will quickly realize it's the tiny details and the huge details in which this game world is built upon. Essentially, the lighthouse is a lighthouse within a lighthouse within a lighthouse, and plays with scale and size in a way that would really only work in VR. Watching your little self in a model set, mimicking what you yourself are doing, then looking up to see a giant version of yourself doing the exact same thing is incredibly cool in VR and gave me a smile the whole time I was playing. Visually, A Fisherman's Tale is an incredibly polished and very special little game that you will love to play inside. Sound is up next.
A quiet sea tonight. The fisherman had spent all his life trying to land a catch as big as that.
Well, don't you look like a dull drink of water?
Like the visuals, the sound design in A Fisherman's Tale is fantastic and oozes with inspiration and care. The musical score fits the game perfectly and complements the warm and magical vibes that the visuals created. The upbeat and thoughtful score helps to create a happy and inviting place that works seamlessly with the rest of the sound design. Voice work here is also top-notch and a good thing too, considering the entire game is narrated as if being read out of a storybook. Other inanimate objects will pop to life like something out of a Disney movie. These are also excellently handled and nicely round out the voice work on offer, with only a slight repetitiveness of lines when stuck on a puzzle. Other sound effects are not surprisingly also done well, but it is the little nuances that for me really complete the package. Taking a toothbrush and brushing your teeth creates the appropriate sound, as does anything you throw in the world. We take these things for granted in our VR playgrounds, but they also are often not included, and as such make a big difference when looking at immersion. All in all, like its visuals, A Fisherman's Tale delivers a fantastic 3D audio soundscape that feels polished and special.
Quick, hold your breath.
And that brings us to gameplay. As I previously mentioned, A Fisherman's Tale is a puzzle game that takes place inside a lighthouse, inside a lighthouse, inside a lighthouse. If this sounds confusing, fear not, because it is revealed and handled expertly, organically, and never forced. The simple explanation is that your point of view exists inside the normal-sized world, and you will be tasked with using all three perspectives to solve all sorts of fun and creative puzzles. Interacting with one perspective is often the key to solving a puzzle in another perspective, and similarly likewise. Puzzles aren't overly difficult, but I appreciated their logical and fair design. The game also has a default setting that assists you if you appear to be stumped, with the narrator chiming in with just a gentle nudge in the right direction. This can be turned off, but the subtle hints rarely give away the answer, and instead help to alleviate frustration and ensure the narrative moves forward at a comfortable pace. A Fisherman's Tale takes place across 6 unique chapters and can be completed in about 3 to 4 hours. As a fully interactive world, this game requires the use of 2 move controllers. You navigate the world using mandatory click turning and teleportation, and while moving around the relatively small levels was quick and painless, I really would have appreciated smooth turning and full locomotion options. This is especially evident when teleporting too close to an object, then being a pain to teleport back and then in again. Picking up and interacting with objects is made easy through excellent tracking, and even easier by the option of extending your hands out to reach hard to reach places without requiring the space to move, and of course fussing with camera positioning. Motion sickness should be at a minimum, and a minimal amount of space is required to play this. Ultimately, A Fisherman's Tale feels inspired by such movies as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Toy Story, but makes these ideas its own and delivers a fun and engaging narrative-driven puzzle game. And that takes us to fun factor in my final review. As many of you know, I'm not much of a puzzle guy, as I'm an impatient bastard and hate when games just mess with you to be clever. Much like the recent Red Matter or Torn, A Fisherman's Tale is a narrative first that is then supported by its puzzles. As such, puzzles are organically interwoven into the game's narrative and are designed to be intriguing, fair, but most importantly, fun. A Fisherman's Tale is destined to be a VR gem, as it is a special and magical game that is a pleasure to play inside and would only really be possible in VR. I hate number ratings and instead rate games on a basis of buy, wait for a sale, or burn it to the ground. At $15, A Fisherman's Tale is priced perfectly for gamers to take a chance on it, so it's definitely worth a buy. If this game interests you, I encourage you to not wait on a sale, as this is a very high quality VR experience that should be supported and commended. Anyways guys, that's it for me. If you like this video, please hit that like button, and if you'd like to see more PSVR content from me, please consider subscribing, and for video updates, hit that bell icon. I'll catch you guys on my next video.